Welcome everyone. Oh, finally, that's my favorite period of moment of the week. MindfulPat. Hi, MindfulPat. How are you?
Hello, Lele. Good to see you. It's also my favorite time.
And with us today we had Herman directly from the island of Costa Rica, right?
Well, that is a famous misconception that we are an island, but we are not.
It's not.
That is a country in the continent of Central America, or the
Absolutely.
continent is America.
So we are in
But
Costa Rica,
that is
and we are with Herman that has an experience in so mindfulness. So like he's practicing for a while, and he has actually an interesting story. He came from a different place than all the other guests we had so far in the present show. So Herman, welcome to the present show. Can you tell us also how did you get into mindfulness and what it means for you?
And who you are.
Sure. Thank you guys, and thank you for having me in the show today. I know we tried a couple of times before, and the different business issues didn't allow us to do so. But happy to be here this year. And as you said, my name is Herman Manzo. I have been working in the company for 23 years now, and I discovered lately in my life this whole path into being more present and aware. I will need to thank that to my wife. She has been practicing yoga and becoming a yoga instructor herself in the last 5 years. So she kind of insists me into go with her and practice also with her. And it did really open a space in my week where I started to appreciate other things in life that sometimes we are not that much aware, and even going through yoga to some time of meditation during the practice, it helped us to understand our surroundings, appreciate what we have and the people that is with us. And I know many people think that yoga is just the physical part, but that's sometimes also a misconception. Yoga goes beyond the body. It's also related to the mind and the soul, right? Those are the three main areas. And sometimes we don't practice the mindfulness part that much. And I have been trying to bring that into my life, and my life is a lot of hours here at the office, right? And I started to read different business books that were all related. When you read in the background, they are all related to the same topic, which is being present in one thing, focus on doing one thing at a time, right? And when you start thinking about that in particular, you realize that is mostly or practically exactly the opposite of what we do every day. We tend to multitask and working 1,000 million things at the same time. And so I thought for today, I know you guys are two experts, and you have been talking with a lot of people around, and maybe we can discuss a little bit of that, because I don't think I have all the answers. I'm far from that. I'm practicing and struggling in many of those things. And from one of these books, I took one comment that was an eye-opener for me. It said, if you come to the office, you work on your email, and all of a sudden you are happy because your inbox of email is clear, right? There's nothing else to do. But if you think about it, you are probably have work in somebody else's priorities. So what have you done for yourself? What where area where you're focusing on things that you need to do. So this is one of the first things that I notice, that how my day-to-day work goes, because I'm constantly working on emails I receive. I'm all of the time answering instant messages that I receive, but seldomly I have time to focus and be present on what I need to do, where I can provide value. I'm more like juggling with everybody's request, and I'm not taking the time to be present and work in one thing. So well, by the way, one of the books I'm referring to that I read, and I think it's a good recommendation if you like, is called The One Thing by Gary Keller. And that book starts in particular with a Russian proverb that I took the liberty to bring here. And the proverb says, if you can chase two rabbits, you will not catch either one.
So let's say that we celebrate the concept of unitasking at this point, right? Rather than monotasking. That is certainly more productive.
Mm-hmm. But so let me share you, Emmanuel, one of the things, and sorry guys to interrupt you, that I have tried and I'm still trying to figure out, is like in our environment, if you want to take a time to work on something, probably first you need to block your calendar. You need to find that slot of time that is not taken already for a couple of other meetings and make it your own.
Yeah.
Now you need to move ahead and respect it, right? You need to respect your own scheduled time, because sometimes if somebody puts another meeting on top of your time, you will probably say, okay, I'm going to talk with Patrick because I like him and I will try to help him. That's something that also comes in terms. And the other thing is like, if you are not present, and this is part of our culture, if you are not present in the instant messaging, people tend to think you are on vacation, which is something that you need to change.
Or you don't want to reply to them because there is something, right, that is happening in between of you.
Or you're rude, you don't care. Yeah.
Or you don't care, right? So hopefully I'm new to this, and this is my new latest experiment. I'm trying to move into Slack, because as you know, now it's available for everybody. The title of the tool means exactly that, to give you some slack of time to work also in your things. So I'm trying to keep it there. People can leave you messages and you can reply offline, right? A little bit later. So have you guys experienced with that business environment when you're trying to be present, but the world keeps pulling you from that?
All the time. It's more and more people are starting to experience the things that we're talking about now and becoming aware of these things that we need to change and that we need to personally do. But the way that businesses have been constructed and our working days and corporations and that whole big machine that's been rolling for a long time now isn't really designed to that. So the more we change that and the more we spread the messages about that, then of course, then we'll start changing and adapting the big machine. That everyone will have these spaces of time where they could focus more, or where the conversations we have with people are more meaningful than just like, I need this, I need that, ping, ping, ping. And we're judged by the amount of people we ping or write emails to, like you were saying. But it's difficult. I think blocking time in your calendar is a good way to do it. Sometimes people come earlier to work where they're not distracted as much, or stay later, or work on the weekends. Because like you said, Herman, a lot of times during the week, you're doing things for others, right? Their priorities. And when do you do your own things or your own personal projects or things like that? So yeah, do you work overtime? Do you work on the weekends? Do you work on holiday? I mean, what do you do? I don't really have an answer, but I think we're starting to have this discussion around this in order to solve these issues.
Right. And I think one other tool that has been good that is coming is, the video conferencing, like we are doing ourselves here. Because if I'm looking at you, I'm present in this moment talking with you. but still we have a lot of people that is not in camera and multitasking in the background, right? So hopefully this is a more used practice that I think we need to show people that if we are all together, you dedicate these few minutes to talk about one thing. Let's focus on this particular one, and also be respectful to hear what the others are here to say, right?
So the issue is always inside us, is never outside. So it's we dedicate the time and focus also while we are on video to not look at additional information on our monitor, right? To just look in the camera so that hopefully we are looking in the eyes each other. And the same is for any communication we do. So, and this probably, and I think, but in my personal case, mindfulness practice helped me incredibly in this, right? Into having that mental note that I need to focus. So anytime I talk with someone that is face to face, I try to keep my devices in my pocket, right? And when I'm in a video, I try to switch off any application I have so that I can give full focus. And this will help me at one point to reduce the time of the meetings. So I don't need an hour anymore. I just need maybe 20 minutes with full focus. So you will actually gain more time eventually if everyone starts taking you as a role model in this. So that's actually where mindfulness helps.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I guess I will ask the people that is watching this show today that if they can comment below with their experiences on things that we can do to improve ourselves in manage this business world, being more aware and present. I will be more than happy to read them.
Perfect. So that time.
I would like to share one thing. Maybe Herman doesn't know, but this year is going to be my fifth year without emails in the office. So I started 5 years ago to not use email, and Patrick can confirm that I never send one to him at all, right? When whatever conversation we have at the present show. And it's mostly connected with using other tools. And when somebody's asking me a question like, "Oh, how can you live without it?" My general answer is always never I use another tool to communicate. It's more like, okay, I think about using the best channel for that particular message. And majority of time is setting up a meeting and talk face to face or on video. This will allow you to solve the majority of issues and at the same time to have an amazing pleasure in talking with your colleagues and learning many more things. So that is the main solution, is getting back into conversations. And then it becomes fun to work and to be in the office as well.
There you go.
So we do we have a mindful minutes, Pat, that can help with this?
Herman, did you want to propose something that you learned?
No, go ahead, my friend.
Okay. So since we're talking about focusing on one thing at a time, let's just focus on one thing as much as we can. It helps if you have a watch that has seconds or a hand, but if you don't have a watch that you can look at or that's on your hand, you can just count. Okay. So since I'm already like 15 seconds into our minute, close your eyes and try to focus on one thing for the next 30 seconds. Whether that's counting, whether that's breathing, whether that's your thoughts, whatever it is, just 30 seconds. Try to stay with one thing. Go. And I'll even count for the next 15 seconds to see if you could focus on my counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And you can open your eyes.
And now we can play hide and seek.
Now we can play hide and seek.
It's, I think, even in these 15 seconds, you might have a moment when you saw something that tried to go, like a little thought that started to thinking itself, right? The more trained you are, the easier you identify it. But it's even 30 seconds is a time when we realize how easy it is to get distracted.
I had a teacher once explain to me, because I have like the ticking hand.
Yeah.
And he said, if you can watch it tick and just focus on the ticking for 60 seconds without getting thoughts like take you away somewhere, you're very skilled at focusing. But like you said, usually a few times you'll get a thought and you'll think like, why am I doing this? Oh, I need to do that. Oh, I just heard that noise, or whatever it is. And you're distracted, right? Even if you're trying to focus fully, you'll still get distracted. But with practice, you'll get slightly distracted. Like if like an insect or a fly lands on your hand, you're not going to freak out and you need 15 minutes to get back to normal, but you shoo it away.
So thank you so much, Herman, for sharing, and thank you for telling me where is Costa Rica. Now I absolutely know, thanks also to the maps. My ignorance is always extreme in certain cases. So thanks so much, Pat, for being here in the present show, and have fun until the next show, guys. And let's all do some unitasking from this week at least. Try to not do two things at a time. You are never going to be able to do it. So it's enough if you focus on one. So have fun and see you soon.